You probably saw the headlines about Caitlin Clark's injury report and feared the worst for her pro debut. You expected a slow start or a cautious return to the court. But she didn't just play, she led a 48-point demolition of a national team. However, the most shocking part wasn't her scoring. It was what she did on the bench while up by 50 points. The Indiana Fever's preseason finale against the Nigerian national team was not a typical exhibition. It was a physical demonstration of readiness that silenced a week of medical speculation. Days before the Saturday tip-off, Caitlin Clark was listed on the injury report, sparking widespread concern over her availability for the start of the season. However, she was officially cleared to play and proceeded to spearhead a 105-57 blowout that remains one of the most lopsided victories in recent exhibition history. Clark finished the night with a team-high 21 points, but the true story was her surgical efficiency. She shot 2 for 3 from beyond the arc, using elite shot creation to dismantle a defense that is historically characterized by its physicality. By putting up these numbers in limited minutes, Clark proved she could transition to a professional pace without lingering physical effects. She looked like she didn't miss a beat, onlookers noted, as she orchestrated an offense that overwhelmed the international roster. This performance served as a vital psychological green light, confirming that the #1 overall pick is the functional engine of the Fever's system. But the real story wasn't just how Clark played on the court. It was the moment she stepped off it that truly set the internet on fire. The drama surrounding the Indiana Fever's final preseason tune-up reached a fever pitch before the first whistle even blew. Fans were glued to the official injury updates as the coaching staff weighed whether to risk their franchise cornerstone in an exhibition match. Ultimately, the decision to give the green light to play transformed the evening from a standard scrimmage into a full-scale dress rehearsal for the regular season. This move allowed the staff to test their primary rotations under live conditions rather than relegated to bench testing exercises. The medical clearance proved crucial for establishing the team's long-term identity. When the Nigeria game began, the chemistry between the 2024 #1 overall pick and Aaliyah Boston was immediately evident, highlighted by a viral pre-game hug that signaled a deep-seated camaraderie. Caitlin Clark later told reporters she was relieved to have Boston by her side, noting that their connection as the two most recent Rookie of the Year winners and top picks is the foundation of the team's future. This bond suggests that the locker room culture is already hitting championship-caliber status. While talent wins games, the vibe shift in Indiana indicates a cohesive unit that can handle the unprecedented media spotlight. While the chemistry looked perfect, the sheer statistical disparity between these two teams raised questions about how the Fever managed to turn a professional match into a 105-point clinic. The 105-57 victory over Nigeria was defined by a specific tactical dominance that extended far beyond the final score. While much of the league's focus had been on the health of the roster, the game itself showcased a 48-point margin that highlighted a significant gap in transition speed. The Indiana Fever utilized a high-octane system that effectively neutralized a Nigerian squad known for international-level physicality. By the second half, the Fever had turned the contest into a statistical clinic, dictating the tempo through a relentless fast-break offense that forced Nigeria into a trailing position for the majority of the 40-minute clock. This preseason finale served as a psychological catalyst for the 2024 campaign. The Indiana defense held their opponents to under 60 points, a feat that underscores the improved rim protection and perimeter communication of the new-look roster. It's about building those habits now so they become second nature, the coaching staff emphasized regarding the team's disciplined execution. By maintaining a high level of play even as the lead ballooned, the team demonstrated a professional maturity often missing from younger rosters. This focused energy wasn't limited to the active players, as the bench became a central hub of momentum. However, the real story wasn't just the execution on the floor, but a specific viral interaction on the sidelines that signaled a massive shift in the team's internal culture. The connection between Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston has transitioned from a theoretical pairing of #1 overall picks to a functional offensive powerhouse. During the preseason run, their synergy was most visible in the high-low post entries and the pick-and-pop sets that left defenders stranded. Boston, the 2023 Rookie of the Year, serves as the tactical anchor, providing the necessary screens to free Clark for her signature deep-range looks. This partnership is built on mutual respect for their respective hardware. As Clark noted during a post-game presser, Aaliyah is so easy to play with, she's always in the right spot. This on-court mapping is reinforced by a shared leadership profile. Both players were tasked with revitalizing programs at the collegiate level, Clark at Iowa and Boston at South Carolina, and they have carried that high-stakes experience into the Fever locker room. By communicating through subtle hand signals and constant sideline dialogue, they are effectively co-authoring the team's playbook in real time. This level of synchronization is rare for a duo with 0 prior years of professional experience together. But while their tactical execution is what shows up in the box score, it was a moment of pure personality that truly captivated the fan base and signaled a permanent shift in the team's atmosphere. The digital landscape shifted the moment the cameras panned to the Indiana Fever bench during the closing minutes of their exhibition rout. Despite a massive lead, Caitlin Clark refused to remain a passive spectator, engaging in a hilarious and energetic display that saw her jumping and cheering for the deep bench reserves. This wasn't just a player resting. It was a #1 overall pick acting as a primary hype man, a move that hyped up the crowd even more in a sold-out arena. By the time the final buzzer sounded, clips of her celebrations were generating millions of impressions across social media platforms. This energy is a tactical tool for a franchise entering its most important season yet. In a league where chemistry often takes years to refine, Clark is using her platform to foster an immediate vibe shift that prioritizes collective success over individual highlights. It represents a transition from a rebuilding phase to a culture of high-stakes enthusiasm. When fans see a superstar invested in a 48-point blowout, it validates the ticket price and builds a brand that extends beyond the box score. However, as the digital buzz reached its peak, the conversation shifted back to the tangible evidence in the box score. Not just the energy, but the sheer statistical destruction that ended the preseason. The lopsided final score against Nigeria signaled more than a physical win. It established a psychological powerhouse heading into the 2024 season opener. By maintaining a high-intensity defensive shell, even while holding a 40-plus point advantage, the Indiana Fever demonstrated a mental discipline that prevents the complacency trap common in young rosters. This game served as the final piece of the psychological puzzle, proving that the team could handle the external pressure of a sellout crowd while executing a complex, fast-paced offensive scheme. To capitalize on this momentum, the coaching staff utilized the final quarters to run specific end-of-clock sets, ensuring that the players' muscle memory is calibrated for high-stakes late-game scenarios. This deliberate practice under the spotlight of 6.2 million social media impressions throughout the preseason provides the roster with a mental armor against the upcoming regular season scrutiny. We're not just playing against the opponent, we're playing against our own standard, the team's approach emphasized throughout the final week of training. This internal focus has shifted the team from a lottery-bound mindset to a playoff-caliber mentality. Such a shift is critical because it ensures the team doesn't enter the regular season searching for an identity, but rather asserting one. But while the mental game is currently at an all-time high, the true test of this newly forged culture lies in how it holds up when the games actually count for the standings. The 2024 preseason finale served as the ultimate litmus test for the Caitlin Clark effect, a phenomenon that has historically been dismissed by critics as mere marketing. However, the commercial reality of her arrival in Indiana has rewritten the record books. The 105-57 victory occurred in front of a capacity crowd that mirrored regular season attendance levels, proving that her gravitational pull on fans is a permanent fixture rather than a temporary trend. This surge in interest has led to the WNBA announcing that a record 36 of the Fever's 40 games will be broadcast on national television, a direct response to the generational viewership Clark attracts. Beyond the ticket sales, the reality on the hardwood has eclipsed the lofty expectations set during the draft. Opposing coaches noted that the gravity of Clark's shooting range forces defenses to extend 30 feet from the hoop, opening lanes for her teammates that simply didn't exist in previous seasons. By destroying Nigeria 105-57, the roster proved their offense is lethal and their chemistry is legitimate. The CC effect has successfully transitioned from a college narrative to a professional standard. So what do you think? Reality has officially exceeded the hype, leaving the league on high alert as this new era of Indiana basketball begins. Let us know your predictions in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown of Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever win over Nigeria, make sure to like this video, share it with your fellow basketball fans, and subscribe to Flagrant Basketball for more interesting stories like this. We bring you the untold narratives, the behind-the-scenes training, and the real stories that shape the WNBA. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest content.